Magandang buhay, grade 6 students. My name is Sir Mark Aspruna, or you can call me Sir Mark, and I will be your teacher for today for arts education. So before we start our class for today, may I please request everybody to please turn off your cameras and turn off your microphones, for I will play our prayer for today.
Lead me, Lord, lead me by the hand and help me face the rising sun. Comfort me through all the pain that life may bring. There's no other hope that I can lean upon. Lead me, Lord, lead me all my life. Walk by me across the lonely roads that I may face. Take my arms and let your hand show me the way. Show the way to live inside your heart all my days, all my life. You are my light, you're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. You are my light, I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life. Lead me, Lord. Lead me, Lord. Even though at times I'd rather go alone my way, help me take the right direction. Take your road. Lead me, Lord, and never leave my side. All my days, all my life. You are my light, you're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. You are my light, I cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life. You are my light, you're the lamp upon my feet. All the time, my Lord, I need you there. I just cannot live alone. Let me stay by your guiding love all through my life, all through my days. So lead me, oh Lord. Lead me.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So again, mabuhay, grade 6 students. So how are you feeling today? Thank you for that response, and for that, let me request everybody to please turn on your cameras and turn on your microphones as I do our roll call for today, or our attendance, okay? So let's start for the girls. Is Miss Jane Balastige inside? Thank you, Miss Jane Balastige. How about Miss Leah Vinson? Thank you, Leah Vinson. Jatungol. You look nice, Jatungol. Queen Lazarte. Gorgeous again, Queen Lazarte. Jasmine Tolentino. Another gorgeous student of mine. Miss Patricia O'Connor. Energetic one. Marian Rivera. Thank you so much, Miss Marian. Beatrice Gomez. Beatrice Gomez, are you in? Thank you so much, Miss Beatrice Gomez. Bella Sulweta. Thank you so much, Bella Sulweta. How about you, Miss Alex Gonzaga? Thank you so much, Miss Alex Gonzaga. It seems like all of our girls are in good attendance right now, so you all deserve a virtual clap. Very good, girls. And for the boys, let me start with Mr. Jomar Carabeo. Jomar Carabeo, thank you so much. Caleb Santos. You look neat for today, Caleb Santos. Thank you so much. Kim Globio. Mr. Kim Globio. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kim Globio. How about you, Mr. Michael Aris Rakipiso? Thank you so much, Mr. Michael Aris. Raymart Ganyo. Thank you so much. Raymart Ganyo, guys, is the only transferee for in your class, okay? Thank you so much, Mr. Raymart Ganyo. Hansa Sidera, are you in? Thank you for that energy, Mr. Hansa Sidera. Gion Bugay. Gion Bugay. Thank you so much, Gion Bugay. John Marcos Vicente. You look handsome for today, Mr. John Marcos Vicente. How about Mr. Mitsu Nanri? Thank you so much, Mr. Mitsu Nanri. Jefferson Manzano, are you in? Thank you so much, Jefferson. So, I think everybody is in for today. Because of that complete attendance, you all deserve a virtual clap. So to know if you all remember our last topic, which is the digital arts, contrast and emphasis, let's have a short game which is true or false. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? We will not start until everybody is responding. Are you all ready? Okay, if you are all ready, let's start our game. So for the first one, digital art is the general term for a range of artistic works and practices that uses digital technology. Is that true or false? Will you answer it, Mr. Raymart Ganyo? Yes, indeed, Mr. Raymart Ganyo, your answer is correct. It is a true statement. For the second one, GIMP is an open source photo editing software used to create 3D applications. Can you please answer that? Miss Queen Lazarte. Miss Queen Lazarte, can you please answer it? Is it a true or a false? Very good, everybody. Very good, Miss Queen Lazarte. It is a false statement. For our third one, shapes can be geometrical or organic. Who wants to answer? Please raise your hand. Yes, Miss Jane Balastige. What is your answer? Very good indeed, Miss Jane Balastige. Your answer is true and that is a correct answer. It is a true statement. Okay. So our fourth, contrast is created using elements that conflict with one another. Again, contrast is created using elements that conflicts with one another. Is it a true or a false? Is it a true or a false? Yes, is anyone raising their hand? Okay, Mr. John Marcos Vicente, what is your answer? Very good, Mr. John Marcus Vicente. That is a true statement. Very good. How about our fifth and last question? So emphasis is used by the artist to make one part of an artwork stand out from the rest. Again, emphasis is used by the artist to make one part of an artwork stand out from the rest. Again, is anyone wants to answer? Yes, Mr. Mitsunanri. What is your answer? Very good, Mr. Nanri. That is a true statement. So very good, everyone. It seems that you all understand our past lesson, and I hope you can also do that to our lesson for today. Okay? Thank you for that cooperation. Because of that, all of the students who answers my questions will have a bonus point. Okay? I will record it on my record book. Okay? Okay, thank you so much. So before we start our lesson for today, I will show you a picture, and can you please tell me what can you say about that picture, okay? I will ask some questions after a 3-minute time so you can be ready, okay? Are you ready? So here is the picture. Okay, your time is up. Do you observe the picture really well? Do you? Okay, let me ask some questions about this picture. Now, first question, is that picture colorful for you? Yes, Mr. Hans Asidera, how about you? Is that picture colorful to you? Okay, thank you so much. Is that picture considered a 3D or 2D art? Is that picture considered a 3D or 2D art? Yes, Miss Jatungol. Thank you so much for that answer. Now, where do you think this picture is located? Is it located under a overpass, onto a business wall, onto a building wall? Yes. What is your answer, Miss? Yes, Miss Marian Rivera. Thank you so much for that answer, Miss Marian Rivera. So now, based on the picture and based on the informations you've gathered, what do you think is our topic for today? Yes, what do you think? Anyone in the class? Please raise your hand if you want to answer. Raise your hands if you want to answer. Okay. I see someone is raising his hand. It's you, Mr. Yes, Mr. Nanri. Very good. It is about painting, or what we can call mural painting. Okay? So our topic for today is all about mural painting. Okay? So are you ready to listen, everybody? Okay, calm yourselves up so we can start our class for today. Okay? So first, let me share my screen, okay? So before we start our lesson for today, or our discussion, let me remind everybody that if you have queries or anything that minding in your head, please use the comment section while we are discussing, because I will answer those questions if someone asks questions while we are in the discussion. I will answer it right away. Okay. Okay. So to start our discussion for today, Mr. Hans Asidere, will you please read the definition of a mural? Mr. Hans Asidera? Thank you very much, Mr. Hans Asidera. So, a mural is any piece of artwork that is painted or applied directly on a wall, ceiling, or a large permanent surface. So, when we say mural, it is a kind of painting that is usually seen on the walls, on the ceilings, and other large permanent surface like the walls of the buildings. Okay? So the most famous mural that was done in the history was the mural of Mr. Michelangelo, which is painted on the ceiling of a church. Okay, I don't remember what church it is, but if I may remember, it was the Basilica. Okay, it was the Basilica. If I may remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I may remember, it was in the Basilica. Okay, it was in the ceiling of Basilica. Okay, so a particular distinguishing characteristic of a mural painting is that the architectural elements of the given space are harmoniously incorporated into the picture. So when we say harmoniously incorporated, in layman's term, ito ay tinatawag na hindi nakikita o hindi mapapansin. Okay? When a mural artist did a mural in a wall that is cornered, that corner will be distinguishable, not distinguishable. Okay, that corner will incorporate into the art. Okay, so murals are also prohibited on the other parts of the world. Okay, because they see murals as vandalism. When we say vandalism, it is the act of painting or writing something on a private wall or a private space, okay, it is prohibited because mural artist likes to paint on walls, okay, on walls that is on the streets to share their feelings, okay. But but on the other side, murals are also used to incorporate feelings of someone, okay, or murals can also be used for giving those institutions or walls a welcoming atmosphere, or a pleasing atmosphere, or a pleasing design of a plain wall, okay. So do you understand what is a mural? Okay, thank you so much if you understand. The next is we have two types of murals. It is the traditional style and the graffiti style, okay? So for the traditional style, will you please read it? Miss Bea Bella, Miss Bella. Bella Zulweta, will you please read what is traditional style? So when we thank you so much, Miss Bella Zulweta. So when we say traditional style, it is the mural that are made or made by our ancestors. Okay, they were made by our ancestors, which are already seen here in our time. Okay, in the 20th century. Okay, this kind of art or this kind of mural are likely seen on the cave walls, okay, on the cave walls, on the uh, palaces, okay, also in a monk's church, okay, those there are murals that are painted on the walls of the monk's church, okay, or the one that is uh painted by Michelangelo. Okay, the walls that the ceiling murals of Mr. Michelangelo are kinds of traditional style of mural. Okay, you understand? Okay, for our next style, which is the graffiti, will you please read Miss Beatrice Gomez? Thank you so much, Miss Beatrice Gomez. So, graffiti style or street art have played a key role in the contemporary wall painting. So, such graffiti or street artists as Kit Haring, Shepard Fairey, uh, Above Mint and Surf, also Futura 2000, OS Gemios, and Veil, and among the walls of urban landscape and onto walls of private and corporate clients. So, graffiti are the new style of mural, okay? These are style of murals that are having the new era of art, okay? When we say new era, it is the concept of the 21st century painting, okay? It is the concept of the 21st century painting, okay? So the style of graffiti is is used in these times, okay? It is used in this time. So we can see graffiti everywhere, okay? Everywhere right now, okay? So um uh graffiti artists or the mural artists here in Bataan are the Guhit Pinas, okay? We have Guhit Pinas in Bataan, okay? But we but the most known mural artist or graffiti artist in the world was Futura 2000, okay? So, do you understand graffiti style? Any question? Any question? So if none, I will show you some examples of traditional styles of mural. So when we say traditional styles of mural, it is the mural that is made by our ancestors, okay? Okay. So the first example was the Ramayana murals, okay? So the Ramayana murals are placed at Bangkok, Thailand, okay? So the second one is the Dancing Gopi, or also known as the Cowherd Girls. It is Cowherd Girls, okay? So the Dancing Gopi was made by the Hindus, okay? So the third one and the last example was a Chinese mural. So Chinese murals are mostly painted on walls of the Chinese temples, okay? Okay? Any question? If none, these are the examples of graffiti styles of murals, okay? So, in New York City, in USA, New York City building murals are famous, okay? They always use graffiti as their art or as to show their feelings to everybody, okay? Next is the Philippine graffiti walls. The Philippine graffiti walls, okay? So these graffiti walls are always seen in the streets, also in the overpass, and also on an abandoned walls, okay? So the last one is the Philippine indigenous walls. This is the picture of this is a sample of a Philippine indigenous walls mural, okay? So this mural is composed of different types of indigenous people here in the Philippines, like the Igorots and the Aitas, okay? Is there any question? Any queries? Anyone? Don't be shy. Don't be shy to ask questions. Don't be shy. Is there any questions? Yes, Mr. Hans Asidera. According to Mr. Hans Asidera in the comment section, Sir, do you have an experience of painting murals? Actually, I don't have any experience on painting murals, but I have some friends of mine that is a mural artist. So I can see their works and I appreciate their hard works and their works. So to make those simple walls extravagant, okay? Any question? None? If there is no question, that is the end of our discussion for today. So I hope everybody learns a lot in this discussion about the murals, okay? So actually, before we start our generalization, I would like you to watch this short video in to know more about mural, okay? Okay, the video will start now.
Hey everybody, today we're going to continue our discussion of public art, and this time we're going to focus on murals. Here with me is my friend Richard McCoy, who's been with us on the show before telling us why we should and shouldn't touch art. A former museum conservator, Richard is now leading a new effort in Columbus, Indiana, dedicated to caring for and celebrating the famous modern architecture in that city.
Hey Sarah, let's talk about some murals.
Let's do it. So first we have to establish what a mural actually is.
Right, well the definition for a mural isn't that difficult. It's basically a large painting on a wall or ceiling, and they can be either inside of a structure or on the outside.
But it has to be in some way public, right?
Well, there are murals that are both. Folks have had murals in private spaces forever, but I'm really interested in murals that were designed for public spaces.
Well, what does the history of mural making in public spaces tell us? Where can we trace this history from? Do we have to go all the way back to the cave paintings of Altamira?
Sure, murals have been around for a long, long time. And really just about every civilization has created some kind of mural that is now part of their cultural heritage. You can think about the Mayan murals of Central America, and of course Michelangelo's painting of the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. But when we talk about murals today, I think the relevant history starts in the early 20th century with what I'd like to call modern murals.
Do tell.
So at the start of the 20th century in North America, the role of murals kind of shifts and takes on a new purpose. One event that dramatically shaped American cities, and really cities around the world, was the Chicago World's Fair in 1893 that introduced new ways for architecture and art to create public spaces that were designed to be representative of the aspirations of the government itself or the publics they served. With the modernization and growth of cities, more government-funded public spaces were emerging, like post offices, libraries, hospitals, and federal buildings. And with the rise of these spaces and places, an interest in decorating them also arises. For example, in the 1920s, painters in Mexico were hired by the government to create murals telling the story of the Mexican Revolution and the aims of the new government. The three painters that became the best known from this work are Diego Rivera, Jose Orozco, and David Siqueiros. They were called Los Tres Grandes, which of course means the three great ones. And yeah, they were really great painters. Each had a big impact in demonstrating the roles that murals can play in defining the aspirations of a government, and also how murals can work to tell complex narratives. Diego Rivera believed that painting on the walls of public buildings was the highest form of art because it made art accessible to everyone.
Right, Rivera wrote in 1932, mural art is the most significant art for the proletariat. But the easel picture is an object of luxury, quite beyond the means of the proletariat.
He used his murals to tell the story of contemporary society and scientific culture at the time. He also used them as a way to advance his own political agenda. And while Rivera mostly painted in Mexico, he also made a number of murals in the U.S. His mural at the Detroit Institute of Arts is believed to have inspired Franklin D. Roosevelt to create an art program in the U.S. as part of his New Deal program. FDR started the Federal Arts Project in 1935 to support artists in need of employment and to integrate the fine with the practical arts, and more especially the arts in general with the daily life of the community.
I like your FDR.
Yeah, it's FDR, right? The Federal Arts Project lasted for 8 years, until 1943. About 5,000 artists were hired over this time, and more than 200,000 artworks were made, of which approximately 2,500 were murals, most of which were created for post offices, federal buildings, and hospitals. But FDR's art program was really similar to the Mexican mural program. In both cases, the government is using visual art to tell stories about their countries through images. Most of the murals that survive from before World War II are inside buildings. I want to make a transition to those that are outside of buildings. This is a shift in communities having the opportunity to take hold of the problem of beautifying a public space that is highly visible.
Okay, so what about street art and graffiti? What about when people paint on walls in the public sphere without permission?
Right. Well, I like graffiti artists a lot. I also recognize that sometimes, it's complicated. Many great murals and important artistic statements have been made without permission.
Okay, so give us an example.
Well, like the Chicano art movement, or El Movimiento, which took hold throughout the Southwest in the late 1960s, frequently represented the Mexican-American people in the U.S. and their cultural, economic, and political struggles. The role of a mural as a tool of community activism is a decided shift in what a mural can do. Murals in the late 1960s and early 1970s demonstrated how art can highlight the value of local community and place. Instead of being paid by a government to tell the story of a nation or some similar thing, artists were working on a community level to tell their own story.
Hooray!
Right? One of the most recognized political figures from the 1960s and 70s is Cesar Chavez, who helped unionize farm workers in California. There have been countless beautiful murals of Chavez. But one of the most recognized murals from this time is Judy Baca's The Great Wall of Los Angeles, which was started in 1974. Hundreds of artists, historians, and lots of young adults have worked on this project to tell the history of California. Murals became powerful tools in cities around the world in the late 1960s and 70s, when so many difficult social events were taking place. From political assassinations to race riots in cities to war protests, there was a lot to be discussed at this time. Many murals were made with community art workshops where artists worked within the community, like Baca, to create murals. This way of working exists all over the country today.
And they didn't have the internet or the kinds of spaces we have today to communicate publicly and share messages. That was indeed a turbulent time, but so is now. And I think it's interesting to consider how we chose to express ourselves visually based on the tools and platforms at hand. Why do you think in the 60s and 70s, Richard, it was architecture that became the platform of choice?
So in the 1960s and 70s, American cities were changing dramatically in other ways. People were leaving the downtown core of the city for the suburbs, and many of the early 20th century buildings were vacant, becoming dilapidated, or being torn down. At this time, many mayors and citizens were exploring ways to make their downtowns more vibrant and beautiful. A different kind of mural emerged, one that was not designed to tell a story, but rather speak to the space around it. This new kind of mural created a conversation with architecture. These kinds of murals were often strong in color and design, size, and purposeful in location. I've not seen a single term for this kind of mural, but I like calling them environmental graphics. And they started to emerge in the late 1960s in New York City with two groups, City Walls Inc. and Smokehouse Associates. Artists at this time were suggesting that murals needed to fit the scale in the context of the urban scene. They wanted a mural that could speak the same visual language as the city. And this tendency spread all over the US into cities like Atlanta, Chicago, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and even right here in my hometown of Indianapolis.
What public art can be has expanded dramatically since the 60s and 70s. Artists have and are interacting with the public sphere in much different and more invasive ways. Like Meryl Laderman-Euclid's project, where she joined the New York City Sanitation Department as an artist in residence. And public art is so much more than murals now. It can be sculpture, of course, it can be installation, water features, performances, and works that really challenge what art can be in the public sphere. But I still think you can think about more recent works as extensions of the history of mural painting. Jessica Stockholder's Color Jam from 2012, which was in Chicago on the corner of State and Adams Streets, for me is sort of like an exploded mural. It's painting on architecture in a way, but it bleeds out into city infrastructure, into the street. It's not content to stay within the boundary of a wall.
If I think about the future of murals in the public sphere, I think they will follow current technology, like Jenny Holzer's projection series. So urban projection mapping projects use computer technology to map the side of a building and then display a moving image that relates to it. These mapping projects also can be a kind of historical effort to reimagine old buildings and how they might have originally looked.
I think there's a tendency in a lot of cities to immediately think about murals when they think about public art, but the possibilities are so much wider today.
Yeah, and there are so many excellent murals from the past that are worthy of being restored or preserved. For that to happen, though, a city and its citizens need to take ownership of these murals and work to preserve them.
What are the murals in your community that work or don't work, that need restoration, that you love, or that you don't like at all? Share them with us. Thank you so much for telling us all about murals, Richard.
Well, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed talking about it.
Is the video so much helpful for you? Do you learn something or new about the mural after watching the video? Okay, very good. Now for your generalization, always remember that murals are kinds of arts that usually applied on a wall's surface, okay? So murals are also used to present message to the public, okay? We can use murals to state our feelings or message to present a message onto the public without saying it, okay? But using an artwork, using your talent given by the God, you can present the message that you want to portray, okay? So there are two types of murals, which is the traditional and graffiti, okay? So traditional style is a mural that is usually made by our ancestors and or made by the century people, okay? Okay, some traditional murals are with the themed are themed by the ancient civilization, okay? Those traditional style of murals are usually found on caves, okay? And then graffiti is the new style of mural that uses the 21st century style of art. So graffiti are the style or are the murals that we see nowadays, okay? That we see on the on unabandoned walls, on the under the overpass, okay? So for your application, create a mini mural using the materials I asked you to prepare. So I asked you to prepare some Manila paper, half Manila paper, pencil, markers, rulers, or any kind of um any kind of or colors, okay? Like crayons, watercolors, or you can use an acrylic paint if you want, okay? So, your mural will be graded as for the criteria that is flashed on the screen, okay? So, your mural will be passed after this class, and and you will take a photo of your mini mural, and then you will be sending it on the portal that I will be providing after this class, okay? Yes, you will pass your mural or or the picture of your mural uh on the portal, okay? On the sending portal that I will be providing after this class, okay? Okay, do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, your time for creating your mini mural will start now, okay? So 5 minutes is done. So may I see the progress of your work? Please open up your cameras and focus your cameras on your work, please. Very good, Miss Jatungol. Your artwork looks very nice. Yes, you too, Mr. Jomar Carabello. Your artwork looks very nice. You are using a graffiti style of mural. Very good. Apply what you have learned on the video and on our discussion or earlier, okay? Yes, Miss Bella, your work was also is also nice. How about you, Mr. John Marcos? John Marcos Vicente? Oh, your work was fabulous, Mr. John Marcos Vicente. It looks really neat. It looks really nice. It looks really good. Very good. Okay? Okay, I will not bother you again. I will give you another 10 minutes to finish your work, okay? Okay, 10 minutes is done. So may you please show your artworks on the camera so that I can take a picture of you of your works, okay? I will not take a photo of your work until everybody is opening up their cameras and focusing their cameras on their works. Okay? Okay, very good, everyone. May I take a picture? Okay, one, two, three. And one, two, and three. Okay, very good, everybody. So, don't forget to take a photo of your work and then pass it later on the submission portal that I will be providing after this class, okay? Okay, thank you so much, everybody. So for your evaluation, I will send the link on the Google form on the comment section, and you have to answer the quiz for only 15 minutes. Okay? 15 minutes is enough because it is um a three questionnaires or 3 question quiz, okay? Okay, you have to answer the quiz for 15 minutes, okay? So your 15 minutes starts now. Okay, 15 minutes is done. So, after turning in your work, I will be the one who will be checking. So, let me first check if everybody is done turning in their works, okay? So, Jane Balastige is done. Leia Vinson, Jatumol, Queen Lazarte is also done. Jasmine Tolentino and Patricia O'Connor is done. Also, Miss Marian Rivera, Beatriz Gomez, and Alex Gonzaga is done. So, we are only waiting for Bella Zulweta's exam, okay? Okay, moving on for the boys. Okay, very good, boys. You have finished the exams. Okay, you have all finished the exams on time. So, Miss Bella Zulweta. Okay, Bella Zulweta submitted also her quiz. So, I will be the one who will be checking. So, I will be posting your grades on this quiz after this class, okay? Okay, thank you so much. So for your assignment, you have to advance read page 501 and up to 509 of your grade 6 MAPE book for our next lesson, okay? Is there any question? Is there any question? Any queries, any violent reaction? Okay, if none, that is the end of our day. That is the end of our lesson. Thank you so much, grade 6. Goodbye, grade 6. Goodbye, class.